So one of the things that we've had as a question for as long as we've been on YouTube is, what does it take to go off grid? And the first thing that you need is power, in my opinion. First thing that you need is power, and solar power is kind of the go-to way for off grid. One of the reasons why we wanted to make this video is so we can show you guys how easy it is to set everything up. So this mobile powerhouse, we're gonna use around the bottom property here, bottom part of the property here. But it's very simple to install, and at this point in time, it is very affordable. So everything that we're installing today, I think is $3,500 Canadian, or under 3,000 American. That's the battery, the inverter, and the solar panels. So everything for enough power to run a cabin pretty much. It could run a fridge, it can run an air conditioner at times. It's not a huge system, but this is a good jump off point. So we have some solar panels that we're going to be installing from EcoWorthy today. All of this is from EcoWorthy. I'd like to leave a link in the description for you guys to go check this out. This is the cheapest way to have a functioning system, in my opinion. So we're gonna get these solar panels opened up, and we're gonna figure out how to put them on our roof here, and then we're gonna show you guys how we have installed the rest of the components. See it on the front here. 195 watt. Okay, so these are 195 watt bifacial solar panels. So these are the coolest 12 volt solar panels that I've seen. We're not going to be using them in a configuration where the bifacial helps, but what bifacial means is the sun can absorb in the back and the front of the solar panel. And actually EcoWorthy has a solar tracker that you can get from them that actually follows the sun. It's pretty cool. We're not going to be using it because we're going to have it installed on our solar shed, but these are cool looking panels indeed. So we've got some Z mounting brackets that go on here. They bolt onto here, and then you can just screw them onto whatever surface you're putting them on, whether it's your roof or whatever you got going on. Solar panel stand, but we're gonna be putting it on our roof here. I got it in low. Tricky. This. I'm gonna put this on there. And then I'll drop the screw, the nuts, and then
you take this and I'll do it. Is that on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep, there we go. One done.
All right, we are almost ready to get these panels on the roof. I don't know what we were thinking for measurements. We've got way more roof than we need, but we're thinking if we keep all the panels kind of low, we'll have space to add more in the future if we want.
How important is that?
Yeah, which is pretty important to think ahead a little bit and just be prepared to add on in the future. So yeah, we've got 6 panels. So we might do 5 along the bottom and then 1 above, which will look kind of weird. Or we might try to just sort of stack them. Maybe we'll do 3 long ways on top of each other.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, so I made a little mistake earlier on. I called these 12 volt panels. They're actually 20 volt panels. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be running these in series. So we go negative to positive, and these are 195 watts a piece. But when we put them together, what we do is we double the voltage, but the amperage stays the same. But why that's important is because when you install your off-grid system, your inverter, or sorry, your charger, your charge controller has a certain voltage range that it needs in order to run. So there's a minimum that you can have and a maximum. So you have to fall within that minimum and maximum. So we'll go higher. Oh, actually, we gotta go. That was the bottom that goes there. Yeah. There. Okay. And eyeball says looks pretty good to me. Okay. Now we should be able to put them on each other. You know what I mean? To keep them tight. Mm. So I'll screw this side here. Yep. Easy does it, that's all. Try not to wrinkle and catch the rubber. There you go. Catwalk it. So you can get your fingers out. There you go.
Yeah, people out.
It'll be able to easy to pull on this side. There, now you can let them come down. Perfect.
All right, we got the panels on. We've got room to add 4 more in the future if we want to. And yeah, that'll fit perfectly there.
So that one goes like that. And then I could just stuff this under here. Connecting the bottom panels. Stuff that way like that. May as well do this one while I'm here. That's the top. Stuff those away underneath. So with this kit, EcoWorthy, it supplies all the cables that you need for everything. So they sent us I can't remember what they're called, but they're the solar panel mounting bars. I think they're called Z bars. But they also sent us all of the cables that we need. So you don't have to try to figure out all the sizes of cables and everything. It's plug and play. They send you everything you need in this kit for a smaller solar cabin kit. Our charge controller runs the voltage range runs from 60 to 115 volts. So when you're sizing your panels to fit your charge controller, you need to keep that in mind. So each one of these panels are 25, so that's 75 volts for 3 of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run them in series and parallel. So series means all of these are going together, and parallel means we're basically turning this into one solar panel and this into another. So we're sending 2 solar panel signals in. Hopefully that makes sense. If you don't understand what series parallel is, you can check it out on Google. It'll help you understand. But so what we've got 75 volts here and 75 volts here, which will work good for the inverter. So I just have to send this over into the shed, and it connects onto these, which are called Y connectors, which makes it so that you can run them in parallel as well as series.
Is it through?
Just about. Oh, there we go. That's through. That's through.
So tape it off the end.
So we got to tape it like that, eh? Nice. Perfect. I'm gonna plug this in like this. Click. So this did not come with the kit. This is just a breaker to turn on and off the power, the panels. So if I ever wanted to turn them off, this is I can turn them off right here. Yeah, this did not come with the kit, but you can get these on Amazon, and they are DC rated breakers. And I need an extra hand, which is your hand. I got a rat's nest here. What's going on? Oh, I think I need to clean this up a little bit more. And that goes in there, and these are waterproof MC4 connectors. So those are waterproof. There. I just need to make this look better so that it's not all jangly. And this is the inverter. So again, it comes with the cables that you need. There's your positive lead at least, and there's our negative lead to the battery, and communication cables and whatnot, everything that you need. So there is the all-in-one inverter, charger, and AC charger. Pretty good right there, something like that. Let me just get one in. Oop. Okay. I'm gonna slip on the other side. Move that over a bit. Okay, so that's level right now.
It's a nice fun color.
It brightens it up in here. Really lightens the mood in the room. Okay, so there's the belly inside and everything to hook up. Right here we have our solar input. Right here we have our battery input. Our AC out, which is what the inverter inverts out. Our AC in, which is where you plug in your grid power or your generator. And yeah, it's a pretty simple system. So Katie's starting to work on a platform for the battery, and that may seem a little bit overkill because we've got insulation all the way around, but on our power shed at our house, which is that small power shed, we have one battery that's sitting low to the ground, and cold air drops, and that one battery sometimes is too cold to charge, so the battery management system inside of the battery won't let it charge. So our idea is to keep the battery high. We're gonna have a heater down below that kicks on anytime that it gets, we'll say 5 degrees centigrade, just to keep it at a normal temperature. And then that'll keep this area 5 degrees all the time, and air will be able to flow all the way around the battery. So Katie's working on getting that built up, and I'm kind of getting ready to install the inverter charge controller. I'm not sure if I explained this earlier in the video, but this is our main power coming from our inverter to all of the outlets in here, to the light. Everything's on one circuit, and we're doing it a little bit weird because we have a box, like an RV power box, which also RVs are going to be plugged into this power shed, but we have an RV power box that's on the outside that has breakers on it. So this goes outside to the RV power box, which has a breaker, a 20 amp breaker that goes back into here, and also has a outlet on the outside. So it's a little bit strange, but it works well for what we need. So as you can see, I just tied into this circuit, and that's the breaker that runs this circuit. So this circuit goes back into the building and is everything. And then we have an RV 30 amp plug, and then we have a 50 amp plug, but that's not gonna work because that's 240 volt. So, live, neutral, ground, right there, just like that, simple. That's my AC out. So this is the power that comes out from the inverter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, mackerel, that was lucky. So there's my solar. Actually, I'll try to go like this a little bit. I can get that connected. Let's make sure that this is off before I connect it, because we are now dealing with power. Yeah, and like that. There. Red to red. Okay, this is exciting because it's now the last bit of installing everything here. This is our 100 amp hour, 5 kilowatt EcoWorthy rack mount battery, version 3. This is the one that we have in our home, and it's been working wonderful. I love the Bluetooth functionality. There, nice and tight. I love the Bluetooth functionality of it because we can always check the state of our batteries, which is really important when your life runs on solar. I'm going to clean up all these cables in a minute here, but I'm just trying to get this thing hooked up. And then these protectors pop on like that. So now we can turn everything on. I've got my negative hooked up to the inverter charger, my positive hooked up to the inverter charger, so I can turn on my breaker, turn on my power. It does a little power cycle. I can turn on my inverter. I don't have that covered yet, but I've got a light up here. Oh, the one more thing. I wanted to hook up the contact, the communication. So I'll connect that there so that the battery can talk to the inverter. And this goes here, like that. And I think I have to go like that. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look at that in a second. But what I want to try now is I want to turn on the solar panels and see if we've got any charge coming in, because there's a little bit of light out there. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. If I flick this switch, everything should work. Ta-da! It's not a bad bedroom, Katie. If you kick me out of the house. 50 watts, I think. Oh, here we go. PV. So we're pulling in 62 volts and 9 amps.
All right, unfortunately, we've got a little bit of clouds covering the sun, so we're only getting about 50 watts, but everything is working, which is awesome. Super simple system. We got power for the cows now. We're not close enough to power them yet, but that's okay.
So this is how simple it really is. We've got solar panels. I've connected them. Come with me to a disconnect. Actually, this is a breaker so that I can turn them on and off from out here. This is my solar line going in. We'll go inside the building. Our solar line comes into here, which feeds the charge controller. This is our AC out, which feeds the power that turns DC into AC power. And then this is the battery that holds the energy that feeds all that. We'll put the information on how to get this set up down in the description. And we do actually get a kickback from EcoWorthy. So if you guys were looking into a off-grid system, it really does help our channel. But I highly recommend EcoWorthy. This is actually the second time that I've used this inverter. I don't know if you guys remember way back in the day, but we had this inverter, actually an older version of it, but similar, in our bus. So we've used it. And the only thing that I haven't shown you is how to hook up the generator. But literally, you just have to put your AC in and then plug it into your generator. And this thing can charge, I believe it's 40 amps, so it's plenty for what we need here for our little system. With the battery, we also have access to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi so that you can see the state of charge for your battery anywhere on Earth, because you can connect it through Wi-Fi, or if you're close, you can run through Bluetooth. And the EcoWorthy rack mount battery is now UL certified. So if you wanted to have a off-grid system that is also grid tied, your insurance company will be a lot more happy with that. So big thanks to EcoWorthy for giving us a hand today, and it's gonna be nice to have power down here. It doesn't fit, it's because I gotta
trim that.
I gotta trim the wall.
Show us how it works.
You go like this, and you go like that, and then you pull on the tight door, and we have a well-insulated area for the battery and components. So this is a small inverter. This is 3,500 watts. So this is a perfect system for a cabin. So if you have a cabin and you want to take it off of the grid so that you have your own independence with power, this is a perfect setup for that. You can put up to, just give me a second, I'm gonna take a look back here. So right now we only have a little under 1,200 watts of panels, which is totally fine for what we need. But this inverter will actually take up to 4,400 watts of solar, which is pretty good for a little inverter like this. So 4,400 watts, 3,500 watts of power that it can put out, and it charges from the AC with 40 amps. Perfect size for what we need, or a little cabin if you have one.
All right, we're finally getting some sun today. We can actually test out our system and make sure it's charging okay. So I'm gonna head inside and see how it's going. I'm pretty sure our battery would have died yesterday. It's been a few days of gray, foggy, cloudy weather, so the battery was really low. And I am just hoping everything is okay. Ooh, we got so much ice. Okay, wow, sweet. So we've got 3 bars on there. Charging. So it looks like we got 650 watts coming in, if I'm reading that correctly. All right, everything is working awesome. We've got just close to 50% on the battery, I think, judging there's 6 lights and 3 are lit up. And the 3rd one is blinking, so we're probably about 50% now. But this all, if it died yesterday, it all just came on this morning as soon as the sun hit and started charging on its own, which is really good. And yeah, super happy with this system. We're gonna have to get the siding on in the next video, and then we might try and move this around a little bit. If we can find a spot near the cows so that they can have their water heater on overnight, would be awesome. It's not really cold enough for it right now, but even if we can keep their water from freezing overnight, that would be awesome.